Mr. Reddy? You may stop. It's okay. Thank you very much. But stay here just in case.
Yes.
Let's go.
I was reading the ordinance, and it doesn't, it's just an attempt to legally say that Nassau County can continue to do what it's always been doing. You are creating more loopholes than you are filling. The proposed disclaimer form does not disclose any more information than it already must disclose under campaign finance laws. Requiring vendors to disclose political contributions to candidates allows a vendor to legally launder money through a political club, committee, or PAC. Further, it does not stop a department head, such as the Commissioner of Parks, from awarding a contract to a sister. And it does not require the county to publicly post the disclosure statement on the county website for everyone to see, or require the county to report why a certain vendor has chosen over another vendor. Further, this ordinance does not have any means of enforcement. The vendor is being asked to sign a statement saying that it doesn't expect to receive a public benefit. So if it happens that it benefits by either being awarded a contract or the legislation being passed, all it has to say is that it's never expected it. It will not breach the contract. Nassau County should forbid any contribution in any dollar amount from a vendor that this body, the county executive, or any department head has an influence in diverting business to or writing legislation that will benefit their industry. These ordinances do nothing to require oversight of personal services, contracts, or contracts under $25,000. It attempts to creating a more open and transparent process for hiring vendors, but it veils the pay-to-play deals that has sadly become the norm in Nassau County.
Thank you, Mr. Reddy. Minority Leader Abraham.
Claudia, Ms. Breck. I agree with many of your points. Obviously, we have asked for greater reforms to ensure that greater reforms in regards to the contract process in this county, to ensure that obviously many of the things that you have just discussed are no longer occurring. You may or may not know, but our side has taken the position to abstain from all contracts in this county. Some of the very main contracts are things that are very important to us. I see Pat Boyle out in the audience. He represents a segment of the youth board in this county. And I can tell you it pains us to be able to vote against or to abstain from these contracts. But until there is proper contract reform, which I think anyone in this room will recognize is necessary in this county, we can no longer in good confidence vote for these contracts without knowing they were not fully disclosed and aired in the proper manner. In regards to the contract, the proposal that is before us today, I think I agree with many of your sentiments. I've said publicly, as well as I said at this meeting, that the disclosure that is provided to us is no different than what anyone can grab off the Board of Election website. The only difference is it's going to be required to be part of law that those documents, that anything that is posted on the Board of Election website is now part of our background. So it's more of a convenience. But from that standpoint, it does not make I don't want anyone to think that we have solved all of the contract reform issues that you've been reading about in the paper over the last 6 or 7 months with this proposal today. It doesn't even come close. We need comprehensive disclosure reform. We need comprehensive RFP reform. We need comprehensive contract reform in its entirety. This is a small percentage of what needs to be done. Very small. And obviously, as you mentioned before, in terms of political contributions, we have urged the county executive, as well as my colleagues in the majority, to accept the ZARB recommendations, which I would think, being that it was put together by the county executive, a panel of individuals that I feel would think he respects their opinion, I would think that they would actually adopt those proposals at the minimum. And we haven't even been able to do that. And one of their proposals, one of their considerations was discuss the possibility of no longer accepting political contributions from anyone doing contracts in this county. It ended up getting watered down to something else, but that was one of the things that they discussed as they were going through their process. But I'm glad to see that you're here today, and obviously I just wanted to make sure you were clear, at least from our standpoint, of where our position is in the legislative minority.
Thank you, and I appreciate all the efforts that you've been making, and I hope, to work with you and advocate for the contract reform. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other? All right, there being none, motion to close the hearing. Moved by legislator Dunn, second by legislator Capel. All those in favor of closing the hearing, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the hearing is now closed.